and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I have never taken the enneagram, is that how you say enneagram test, so today I'm going to be taking it on enneagramtest.com. Editing Kate here. So I did take the full 54 question quiz and they asked me to pay for it at the end, so unless you want to pay for it, don't use enneagramtest.com. I found a different website, so we're gonna get back to the video. eclecticenergies.com. Let's get started. Oh, thank God, this one has a middle option. I can't with the black and white yes, no stuff, so this is great. Wait, how many questions are there? I don't know how many questions are in this one, but that's okay. I'm assuming it's probably about the same, 54 or so. Honestly, grade each statement yes for yes, this is really me, partly for this is partly how I am, and no, we know how this works. Okay, let's jump into it. I am more sensitive than most people. Sometimes the world just seems too harsh. Yes, I am an extremely sensitive person. I love to take care of people and I am good at it. I'm good at taking care of people. I offer advice, but I don't love to take care of people. So I'm gonna say partly. Success, prestige, and recognition really matter to me. Yes. Moving on. I want to win the approval of those in authority, sometimes even when I don't really like them. Yeah. You never know who is gonna have something interesting to say or who's gonna be able to help you with something, so yeah. I don't get depressed easily, if at all. I'm gonna say partly. I get pretty down sometimes, I would say. I am too strict with myself and others. Yes. Myself, not with others. I have very high standards for myself. I often refrain from acting as I'm afraid of being overwhelmed. What does that mean? I often refrain from acting as I'm afraid of being overwhelmed. I'm just gonna say no because I don't know what that's asking. I tend to trust most people. No, so I'm gonna leave that. I plan the next adventure before the current one is finished. Partly, I mean, I'm not planning it. I'm not having an Excel spreadsheet or something. I would say, yeah, I'm usually thinking of the next thing, next page. It's important to me that I be admired by others, and many people do admire me. I would say yes, it's important for me to be admired, but I don't know if people admire me or not, so that's not up to me. I'm always aware of what needs to be corrected. Yes, I would say that's probably one of my strengths, actually, is knowing how to make things better as I go along and to fine-tune things. I am skeptical, suspicious, and doubtful. Sometimes it do be like that. In most close relationships, I give more than I take. I'm gonna say no, and we're not gonna get into the reasons for that. I feel like I have to defend myself. I have this thing where I constantly feel like I'm bothering people and I'm always gonna lose anybody that I actually care about, so I tend to withhold. That's why I'm saying no. I'm pretty domineering. No, I would say I am not domineering at all. I want people to live their lives how they see fit. I don't see much point in wallowing in negative emotions. When I begin to feel anxious, I tend to throw myself into distracting activities. Sometimes, but sometimes I feel it's important to sit in that anxiety and listen to whatever it is that's coming up, but other times I'm like, oh my God, anxiety again. So then I go and I do something. It's hard for me to put my feelings aside even to get a job done. Sometimes it depends on how overwhelming the feeling is. I am uncomfortable when people want an emotional response from me. Yes, I find that incredibly manipulative. If they're like, why aren't you feeling this way? I'm like, excuse me, my emotions are my emotions. Keep yours to yourself. I could probably use a little more ambition. I don't know if ambition's the right word because I think I'm very ambitious, but more drive maybe? You know what? No. I'm gonna say no because I am pretty ambitious. Next page. Your happiness and your feelings are your responsibility, not mine. I'm gonna go ahead and say yes. I think that's pretty accurate to how I feel about that. Personal relationships are by far the most important thing in my life. Partly. In the past, I probably would have said yes, they're the most important. My relationship with myself is the most important now, and the things I create and what I actually do in the world. I'm a true romantic. Yes, but no one deserves it. So I keep it to myself. It's easy for me to accept other people, and they seem comfortable around me because I don't judge them. Yes, I can't even tell you the amount of times people have said to me, I've never told anyone this before. I don't know why I'm telling you. I don't mind taking a risk. I really like to beat the odds. Sometimes, depends on what I'm risking. I think it's important to take risks. I'm more organized than most. Sometimes. I call my room, my life, organized chaos. I avoid expressing strong emotions. Yeah, I would say I tend to reel it in. I tame the emotional wave. Even though it is frequently irrational, I sometimes worry whether people are talking about me behind my back. Sometimes. There have been a few people in my life who have talked about me badly behind my back and I wasn't aware of it, so there's probably a scar there. For better or worse, I compare myself to others to assess how I'm doing. Unfortunately, yes, I would say so. Rules annoy me. Yes. They do. I don't think rules in a lot of situations are necessary. I want to observe and think without giving myself away before I go into action. Yes, absolutely. I get bored more easily than most people. I am always looking for new experiences. No. If you get bored easily, you must be bad company. Sorry, was that mean? I didn't mean it, I take it back. While I'm very loyal myself, I frequently worry that others are not going to be loyal to me. Yes, unfortunately. I'm quite unobtrusive and easy to get along with. I would say I'm easy to get along with. I think I can mold to most people, but in this part of my life, it's much more about, do I want to be around them? Most of the time, it's no. I'm a good networker. I know how to make connections. No. But I'm getting better at it. I have approached many people in the past couple of weeks just to talk to them or ask them questions, so I think I'm getting better at this. I am highly individualistic. I'm gonna say yes because I don't exactly know the context of this, but yeah, I would say it's very important to know yourself. I am more formal than most people. I'm gonna say partly because I get comments all the time from people who are like, oh, you're so regal, you're so put together, and I'm just like, if only you could be inside, then you would see that that's probably not true. I am more loving than most people. It depends on the person, so I'm gonna say partly. I am more temperamental than most, but it's because my feelings are so strong. I'm gonna say no. I'm attuned to anything that might be dangerous, and I am security conscious. Yes. It's like I have a sixth sense. If I'm in an environment that I don't feel safe in, I leave, and usually there's a good reason for it. I often resent it when I see people doing a slack job. Sometimes, but it's also none of my business. Nobody likes to be intruded upon, but I hate it. Yes. If I'm working on something, I really don't like to be interrupted, but it's not the biggest deal either, but I'm gonna say yes. People are attracted to me because I impress them. I have no idea if I impress people, so I'm just gonna say partly. I don't like commitment. Who wants to be locked into something, especially if something better presents itself? I'm gonna say partly. I try to get closer to people by being generous with my time and energy. I'm gonna say no. I go along with what others want unless I have a very strong desire of my own, which I usually don't. I'm gonna say sometimes. I come on pretty strong and can sometimes intimidate people. I intimidate people without even trying. I feel like I naturally shake things up just with my presence, so I'm gonna say yes to that one. I see life as a struggle that I intend to win sometimes. If I'm not careful, I can get too isolated from others. Yes, but I don't think that's a bad thing. I kind of like my own company quite a lot. Sometimes I have overextended myself in trying to help people. No, I don't think I've ever overextended myself. I am competitive and ambitious, but I do not think of myself as cutthroat. Yeah, I would say so. I'm not competitive, but I am ambitious. I am meticulous and fastidious, even about details that other people find minor. I'm having to reread this one a couple times because I'm like not getting it. Yeah, I'm gonna say partly. It depends on what the project is. It's important to me to feel as though I belong, partly, because I've kind of accepted I'm an outlier in a lot of situations. I'm drawn to emotional intensity and am not afraid to explore the depths. I'm gonna say yes. Just so that I'm not afraid to explore the depths part. I tend to avoid conflict. Yeah, I would say I try to avoid it. When making a decision, I often ask myself which option will yield the maximum enjoyment. I need to start asking myself that more, but just for the sake of this video and this questionnaire, I'm gonna say no, because I don't do that currently. I welcome a good fight as it clears the air. Yeah, I would say I welcome it. I think it's important to be honest with each other. I'm a big procrastinator sometimes. I don't tend to overcommit myself. I have a limited amount of time and energy. Partly. I hold a tight rein on my temper. Yes, I have very good control of my emotions and not blowing up or acting on them in general. It's really hard for me to save money as I tend to spend beyond my limits. No. It would be the worst thing to be seen by others as a loser. Yeah, partly. I don't think I'd want to be known as a loser. To deal with the fear I always have, I'm as nice and warm as possible towards everyone. Sometimes I used to be way more of a people pleaser. I don't think I am anymore though. It's strange, but I think that there is something beautiful about sadness. Yeah. No one would ever call me selfish. Sometimes. I am more sentimental than others. I'm gonna say yes. I get sentimental. Usually I just focus on the positive sides of people, as focusing on negative traits or events does not help making relationships more harmonious. Sometimes. I'm constantly on the lookout for things that might go wrong. Sometimes. I almost never lose control of myself. Yes, and that is something I am working on. I would like to be less in control. I want to be noticed, but it also makes me uncomfortable. Partly, yeah. I'm good at getting things done. Partly, I accumulate lots of knowledge to counteract my lack of self-confidence. Slap me in the face, why don't you? Yes. Yes. Moving on. I think it's weak to back down from confrontation. Yes, sometimes. I would say so. I think it's good to just get it over with. If something doesn't go my way, I can find something beneficial about it. Yeah, I would say there's a lesson in most things. No, I hate it. Took a little break. How are you guys doing? Is this interesting? I have no idea, but let's continue. I don't let it show, but if I'm with someone who is as unique as I am, I get a bit jealous. Sometimes. I mean, sometimes it's kind of like, how did they get to be so cool and then I don't think I'm cool and then I want to be cool also. I'm not a show-off. In fact, I have probably been too modest. Yes. It is important to me that I win the respect of others. Yeah, I would say so. Most people don't know that I'm actually really sensitive, as I tend to conceal my emotions. Yes. I am sensitive in general. I can't rest until the job is done. Sometimes, yeah. I'm a brainstormer. For every problem, I can think of 10 approaches to a solution. Sometimes, I am pretty tough. I know I just said I'm sensitive, but I would say I'm pretty resilient, so yes. Change, whether to... Okay, let's start over. Change, whether to a new job or new school, makes me more anxious than it does most people. Yeah, I don't really like change. I've moved a lot in my life and I hope to never move again. I often lose my focus as my attention tends to drift off from the main issues. Sometimes, partly. I have a compulsion to do things the right way, even if it's not cost effective. Yeah, I always try to do what I perceive as being right. It takes me quite a lot of time and effort to make important decisions, and I frequently second guess myself. Yeah, I would say I do. I generally appear calm and even-tempered even when I'm under enormous strain. Yeah, there can be a raging storm inside and people will be like, oh, you seem really put together. And I'm like, oh boy, if you were just in my own head, you would see that you're wrong. I'm more dramatic than most? No, I'm not dramatic at all, I would say. I've been told that I lack tact, but I think the important thing is to tell the truth. Yeah. I want to enjoy things, so I'm not very disciplined. Sometimes. I tend not to consider asking for help from others, even from those I love. Yeah, I'm the worst at asking for help. If you are enjoying the video so far, don't forget to like and subscribe. I have a goal to get to 1,000 followers by the end of 2024, so that will mean a lot to me. Thank you so much. I'm not comfortable with self-revelation. I'm not comfortable with self-revelation. I am comfortable with it, so what would my answer be? Why is this such a mind fuck right now? I'm not comfortable with self-revelation. So my answer would be no. Okay, that took a second. My tendency to tell people what's wrong and what they should do about it has sometimes annoyed them. Sometimes, yeah, I've gotten a lot better at that though, because I have found out that if they want to know my opinion, they'll ask for it and then I'll give it. People often aren't what they seem, so I can really be suspicious of their motives. Yes, I would say I'm not superstitious, but I am a little stitious. I have more energy and strength than most people. Sometimes. I would say I'm very strong, but having more energy, that's where I falter. I get pretty tired pretty easily. I tend to escape reality into a world of idealized fantasy. Yes, that's the biggest yes so far. It's hard to stay passionate and focused. I'm gonna say no. I'd say I'm pretty focused. I generally don't like to stay at one task for very long. I get restless and want to move on to something else. I'm gonna say no because usually if I'm interested in what I'm doing, I can see it through to the end. Even if I don't have... Oh, did I not record? I started screen recording again, so This video's all over the place. That's okay. We keep going. Even if I don't have it all together, at least I'm going to seem to have it all together. Yes. Next page. We only have 2 pages left, I think. So we're almost done. I think best on my feet, so I tend to move into action before I've thought it through. I'm gonna say sometimes. Sometimes I don't know what I'm feeling until I've had a chance to think about it. I'm gonna say yes, but I would word that differently. I need time to feel it out instead of think about it. I tend to have mixed feelings about many people. Yes. The aesthetics of my surroundings has a strong influence on my mood. Yes, I like to be in beautiful places. I usually fall asleep readily and can even take a nap when I'm stressed out. Sometimes. I have been told I am a perfectionist, and I suppose it is true. Sometimes. I mean, this video is living proof that, I'm not that big of a perfectionist anymore because it's chaotic and the editing is going to be interesting to do. And that's okay, we're just going to keep moving, which is a huge personal development for me, so congrats to me. I'll do what it takes to be successful. Yeah, I would say so. I don't give a damn about morality, but I've got my own brand of integrity. I'll say yes to that. I sometimes forget to do something that another person has been pushing me to do. If somebody's pushing me to do something, I feel like that means I don't want to do it, so I'm gonna say sometimes. I enjoy remembering the past, even if it is a bit melancholic. Yeah, I am a nostalgic person. I can easily imagine all the things that might go wrong as I have a really vivid imagination. I'm gonna say yes, unfortunately. While I value my close relationships, I often feel most myself when I'm alone. Yeah. But other people, depends on whom I'm around, but they tend to bring out parts of me that don't come out when I'm alone, so it's kind of a give and take. I have a real sensitivity to how my presentation is affecting others, and I can alter it if I have to. Sometimes. I have no idea how I affect other people or how I come across, so this is kind of difficult to answer. I seldom compromise my principles. Yes. Last page. I'm good at motivating people. Yes, I'm very good at that. Sometimes I'm too critical of others, but I am much harder on myself than I am on others. Yes, I am very hard on myself. When I really get involved in an intellectual problem that stimulates me, I tend to detach from my emotions. Yes, sometimes. I tend to either comply completely or to rebel. No, that's way too black and white for me. My life has been permeated by a sense of longing. Yes. Make yearning great again. I see all points of view when there is a dispute, so it's hard for me to take a side. Yes, big yes. I have strong physical appetites. Is that asking me what I think it's asking me? Yes. Results. Okay, here we go. What do we think is going to be my answer? I don't know anything about Enneagram, to be honest with you. It was never something I was interested in studying, but let's see what my results are. You are most likely a type 5. Your wings seem to be balanced. What does that mean? Okay, so it looks like I'm pretty evenly tabulated. My scores are very close together. Type 5, 10.6. Type 3, 10.2. Type 4, 9.9, type 6, 9.5, type 1, 9.1, type 8, 8.8, type 9, 6.8. So 9 is clearly way different from the other ones, but all the others are like really close in range, so like I guess I'm all of them. I know I probably just annoyed somebody by saying that. But let's read a little bit about type 5. The investigator. Wow, okay, so I just read through this. But I really relate to this a lot. Essentially fear that they don't have enough inner strength to face life, so they tend to withdraw to retreat into the safety and security of the mind where they can mentally prepare for their emergence into the world. That's me. They feel comfortable and at home in the realm of thought, generally intelligent, well-read, and thoughtful. Frequently become experts in the areas that capture their interest, a bit eccentric, sensitive, somewhat restrained when it comes to emotional expression. 5s, especially with the 4 wing. 4 wing, so 4th wing? Dragons? Do I have a dragon? Does that make me a 5? I have a dragon. That's cool. I like that. I don't know what the wings are in Enneagram, so I guess I'll have to do some more research on that, which makes sense. Being a 5, I like to do research. But yeah, I feel like this encapsulates a lot of who I am very well, actually. Okay, so it says that my wings are... So I'm also high fae. This is awesome. I love the Enneagram. My wings seem to be balanced. I don't know what that means, but again, this was very interesting. It sounds like I've got a lot to read about. I'm glad I took this test. I had no idea that it could be this in-depth before I took it, because not gonna lie, I thought it was kind of simplistic, there only being 7 types. But you know, I am open to learning about new things, always. Please let me know down below what your thoughts are on the Enneagram. What type are you? Do you have any resources that I should utilize to read more about this? Because I'm intrigued, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't think that I would be by the end of this video, but all right, I'm a type 5. Thank you for sticking with me in this very chaotic video today. If you've made it this far, then comment a dragon emoji down below. If you have any questions or thoughts, or just want to tell me how your day is, then comment that down below. I would love to hear it. Please make sure to like and subscribe. It would mean a lot to me. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye.